a también predicar en Primera de Reyes 21, versículo 1 en adelante. Y la palabra del Señor salió honrando al Padre, el Hijo y el Espíritu Santo. Y dice, sometime later King Ahab wanted a certain vineyard. It belonged to Naboth from Jezreel. The vineyard was close to the palace of Ahab, the king of Samaria. Ahab said to Naboth, let me have your vineyard. It's close to my palace. I want to use it for a vegetable garden. I'll trade you a better vineyard for it. Or if you prefer, I'll pay you what it's worth. But Naboth replied, may the Lord keep me from giving you the land of my family handed down to me. So Ahab went home. He was angry. He was in a bad mood because he won the vineyard. So Ahab lay down on his bed. He was very in a bad mood. He wouldn't eat anything. His wife Jezebel came in. She asked him, why are you such in bad mood? Why don't you eat anything? He answered her, because I spoke to Naboth. I said, let me sell your vineyard, or if you prefer, I'll give you another vineyard in its place. But he said, I won't sell you the vineyard. So, estamos entrando en palabras. Así we're gonna preach the word of the Lord. So, brothers and sisters, in this day, today we're going to be preaching about how people will want to steal your blessing from how God gave it to you, because Ahab thought Naboth's vineyard was worth stealing. Grapes were one of the most important crops of Israel, because they were squeezed, and that's where they used to make the wine, and that's why the vineyards were sometimes valuable. But in this occasion, Ahab wanted the vineyard of Naboth, and he said that he wanted to trade it to him, or he wanted to pay the price. But Naboth answered that he couldn't, because that was a blessing or herencia from his parents. Because you don't sell the blessing God has given you, or don't sell the blessing that God has given you, because if you sell it, then you're gonna be the other person. Because it's like our spiritual lives, that we don't have to leave it alone. Like, we don't have to stop praying or reading the Bible, because then somebody else is going to steal our crown in heaven. Because if we stop doing all of those stuff, like reading the Bible, praying, which are necessary in our lives, somebody else is going to come and steal our crown up in heaven, and then we're going to lose our reward. And that's something like what we're reading right now, that Ahab wanted the vineyard of Naboth, and he said that he will trade him another vineyard, or he'll pay the same price. But it was but look at verse 3. But Naboth replied, may the Lord keep me from giving you the land that my family handed down to me. Because that was like they handed down, like, imagine their grandparents to his parents, and then Naboth had the vineyard. It's like Lord, the Lord, where we have spiritual lives, and the Lord is telling us to read the Bible and pray and to watch, because He can come in any time. And what if, for an example, if somebody is always preaching, singing to the Lord, and then he stops for for a moment. Stop reading the Bible, stop reading and praying, and then he starts doing stuff that really the Lord doesn't like. And then the Lord comes for his people, and then he stays because in a little moment that you stop doing those necessary stuff in our lives, the Lord can come like in any second. It could affect our spiritual lives, because that's what happens once you stop doing those things in the necessary lives. So the people who don't know the story, let's keep on reading. It says verse 7. His wife Jezebel said, "Is this how the king of Israel acts? Get up, eat something, cheer up. I'll give you the vineyard of Naboth." So she wrote some letters in Achab's name. She stamped them with his royal seal. Then she sent them to the elders and nobles who lived in the city where Naboth lived. In those letters she wrote, "Announce a day where people are supposed to go without eating. Have Naboth sit in an important place among the people. But put two worthless and evil men in seats across for him. But then bring changes that he has cursed God and the king. Then take him out of the city. Kill him by throwing stones at him." So the elders and nobles in that city did what Jezebel wanted. So you see, since when you don't want to sell your vineyard, the devil's gonna start doing stuff to give you the vine, to give other people, or to get him the vineyard. Because you see that in verse 13 it says, "Then two worthless and evil men came and sat across him in front of people. Then two men said, 'Naboth has cursed God and the king.' So they took him outside of the city. They killed him by throwing stones at him. Then they sent a message to Jezebel and said, 'Naboth is dead. We killed him by throwing stones at him.'" And then we know now that since he's killed, there's nobody else to have the vineyard guarded from anybody to come and ask for it. So then Jezebel gives the vineyard to Achab, since Naboth is already dead, because since Naboth didn't want to give the vineyard to Achab, he said that since Naboth didn't want to give the vineyard to Achab, now Jezebel said that to say lies about him, to say that he cursed God and he also cursed the king. But since the devil is trying to look away to let us to not have our spiritual lives anymore with God, and God, that the way that God likes how we are walking. And he might throw things at you, because he's gonna throw you stones. He's gonna throw you like your own family betrays you and goes behind other people. He goes to the world and starts to sin and all this stuff, and then you're alone. And that's like the same thing that basically happened here, because they killed Naboth. Then Achab took power over the vineyard. And he said, and Achab heard that Naboth was dead. So Achab, verse 16. So Achab got up and went to take over Naboth's vineyard. Then a message from the Lord came to Elijah, who who was from Tisbeh. The Lord said, go see. So you see in verse 16 that says, Achab heard that Naboth was dead. So Achab got up and went down to take over Naboth's vineyard. You see that everybody, there's gonna be somebody that's always wanting to get your vineyard and try to throw stones at you, like saying, look, your family left you, you're all alone. Now go back to the world with them, to start to sin with them as well. And then if we listen to that voice, if we listen to that and obey what they're telling us, they're going to come and take over our vineyard. And then it's going to be hard because, when somebody's trying to get the Lord into their heart, they start to, you see, the demon's going to start, or the devil's going to start telling them in their ear to don't do this. And they're going to tell them a bunch of reasons why, because look how much you enjoy the world. But when we're in the world, we don't enjoy. It's pain, and it's also painful because you're away from the Lord. The Lord doesn't listen to you because you're away, and then you have to come back. And that's how it is, because since then that Naboth was dead, Achab came and took over his vineyard. And it said in verse 18, go down to see Achab, because the Lord told Elijah to go see Achab, the king of Israel. He rules in Samaria. You'll find him in Naboth's vineyard. Achab has gone there to take it over. So he took it over. And then, since Naboth was dead already, there was nothing to do, because he already Achab took over the vineyard. So that's why we have to, even though a bunch of sacrament and tests come from the Lord, we still don't have to give a vineyard to other people. So brothers and sisters, I'll